Why smart people sometimes make dumb decisions? Psychology has the answer. Have you ever watched someone who's clearly intelligent, maybe even brilliant, make a choice so irrational that it left you speechless? Maybe it was a risky investment, a toxic relationship, or walking away from a great opportunity. And perhaps you've done the same yourself. Why do smart people sometimes make dumb decisions? The truth is, intelligence does not always equal good judgment. Psychology offers fascinating insights into why even the most intellectually gifted individuals often fall into traps of poor decision-making. The reasons are deeply human, rooted in emotions, biases, overconfidence, and even the very wiring of our brains. Let's explore this perplexing phenomenon and discover how understanding it can help you avoid the same pitfalls. 1. Intelligence and rationality are not the same. Being intelligent typically means you're good at reasoning, learning, and problem-solving. But rationality, the ability to make sound judgments and act in your best interest, is something entirely different. Psychologist Keith Stanovich in his research highlights this difference. Smart people often excel in academic or professional settings but may lack the rational thinking skills needed for everyday decisions. Why? Because intelligence tests measure IQ, not rationality. Someone might ace a math exam but impulsively buy a car they can't afford. They're smart, but their reasoning is compromised by emotion or flawed judgment. 2. Cognitive biases don't discriminate. No one is immune to cognitive biases, not even geniuses. In fact, smart people can be more prone to these mental traps because they're better at rationalizing their biases after the fact. For instance, confirmation bias leads people to seek information that supports their existing beliefs, even when those beliefs are wrong. Overconfidence bias makes someone trust their judgment too much, ignoring red flags. The sunk cost fallacy causes people to stick with bad decisions just because they've already invested time, money, or effort. Intelligence doesn't protect you from these biases. In fact, it can empower you to build stronger justifications for your bad choices. 3. Emotion overrides logic. Smart people are still people, and people are emotional beings. While logic and reason might dominate in professional environments, emotional triggers often hijack the decision-making process in personal life. For example, falling in love with the wrong person isn't about logic, it's about emotional need. Fear, anxiety, ego, and desire often overpower reasoning. Smart people sometimes convince themselves they're being rational when in reality they're being reactive. 4. Smart people often overthink. Intelligent individuals tend to analyze situations deeply. While this can be beneficial, overthinking can lead to paralysis by analysis or worse, choosing the most complex solution instead of the simplest one. This overcomplication leads to poor decisions because they second-guess themselves, overestimate risks, or miss obvious red flags. Their minds are so busy evaluating every possible angle that they lose sight of practicality. 5. Ego and identity can get in the way. When someone is used to being the smartest person in the room, their identity can become tied to being right. This makes it incredibly hard to admit when they're wrong or to consider that someone else may have a better idea. Psychologists call this ego-protective reasoning, the tendency to defend your own viewpoint at all costs. It's not about truth, it's about protecting your sense of self. In trying to protect their identity, smart people can fall into traps of stubbornness and pride. 6. Intelligence can lead to risk-taking. Surprisingly, studies show that highly intelligent individuals can be more likely to take risks. Why? Because they often believe they can outsmart the system or solve any problem they encounter. This illusion of invincibility can lead to bad financial choices, dangerous habits, or unethical decisions. Just because someone can calculate risk doesn't mean they'll avoid it. 7. Information overload and decision fatigue. Smart people consume a lot of information, but more isn't always better. The brain has a limit to how many good decisions it can make in a day. Psychologists refer to this as decision fatigue, the deteriorating quality of decisions after a long session of decision-making. Even intelligent individuals get tired, and when they do, they're more likely to opt for shortcuts or default to poor choices. 8. Success can create blind spots. Success breeds confidence, but it can also create blind spots. A track record of making good decisions can lead smart people to believe they're always right. This is called the halo effect, where success in one area makes someone feel competent in all areas. Unfortunately, they might not realize they're outside their area of expertise and fall flat as a result. 9. Smart people trust themselves too much. Self-reliance is a trait of intelligent individuals, but it can also lead to isolation in decision-making. When they don't seek feedback or second opinions, they miss valuable perspectives. In contrast, wise individuals, who aren't necessarily the smartest, often make better choices because they ask for advice, listen, and learn from others. 10. Emotions plus intelligence equals the key. Ultimately, it's not about being smarter. It's about being emotionally intelligent, the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and recognize the emotions of others. People with high emotional intelligence tend to make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and navigate life more successfully than those with just high IQ. How to make smarter decisions, even if you're already smart. So what can you do? Slow down. Take time to reflect before acting. Challenge your biases. Ask yourself if you're ignoring evidence or being too confident. Seek feedback. Don't go it alone. Talk to others you trust. Balance emotion and logic. Recognize when your feelings are taking over and step back. Focus on self-awareness. Understand how your past, identity, and ego influence your choices. Being smart is great, but being wise is better. The smartest thing you can do is understand your own limitations and build decision-making habits that keep you grounded. Conclusion: smart but still human. Why do smart people sometimes make dumb decisions? Because intelligence doesn't erase the human flaws we all share. It's not about having the highest IQ. It's about awareness, humility, and emotional maturity. Once you understand the psychological reasons behind these decisions, you'll be better equipped to avoid them and help others do the same. And that's not just smart. That's powerful.